Hello, welcome to Scrub Time. My name's Christine, and in this video, we're going to explore what if we put Distress Embossing Glaze over Distress Grit Paste. Now, the Distress Embossing Glaze are translucent, so therefore, whatever it's going on top of, the underneath coat will influence the color. So here in the sample, we use the opaque grit paste with the rusty hinge, and you can see that the rusty hinge color comes out and then some of that texture and that comes out. Whereas on this side, I use the translucent grit paste, and because it is a clear paste and the distressed glazes are translucent, transparent, the color of the paper comes through and you don't get that true color of the embossing glaze. Now this is a whole technique upon itself. It allows you to change the color of your embossing glazes depending on the look you're going for. So I'm going to do a little sample I have here, and I'm going to put some, I'm going to put both of the pastes on. So this is the opaque one. You can see it's white, and I'm going to put it on with my finger. I want sort of that gritty texture of why, we like using these pastes. So I'm going to put it on, and then I'm going to put the embossing powders over top. I find sometimes this, depending how thin you do the paste, it can dry fairly quickly. So I want it covered before I move on to the other paste. So I'm just going to set this aside because I'm still using it. I'm going to wipe off my finger. And then just move it over here because I'm going to now take the transparent grit paste and add it on. So even though it currently looks white, as it dries, it gets clear. You can see as I put it on here and it's less. It is more clear. So I'm not using a lot, but you should still be able to see it. I don't want a lot on my sample. I did the other sample to show you what it looks like big. Now I'm just using it on an actual project. So I'm going to just cover this and then clean this up. Of course, I got powder on my mat. It seems to be a thing these days. I have powders everywhere. Just move it aside. Okay, so now it's always good to let it dry and then heat the embossing powders, but I'm going to just heat it right away. So I don't know while I'm heating it if you could hear the little crackling sounds. It's like I'm cooking it. Anyway, so here you can see the difference. So from here to here where it was white, you see part of that white grit in that coming out, and the color of the paste. This is what the actual color is. So this color is pretty close to that color. All of it is because it was over yellow. Over the orange, it's a little darker. So where the white is, you get the true color. Then where the translucent was, it's going to be affected by the bottom. So as I said up here, you should be able to see that that's a little darker than the true color. Whereas down here, because it was a yellow, it's pretty much the same color as the rusty hinge. So depending on the color underneath will affect the color of the embossing glaze. So if you're doing something really dark, you might want to use the white and then have that color pop out. Whereas if you're doing something like this, you could use the translucent and have the color sort of blend into the background. And that is what happens when you use the embossing glazes over the opaque and translucent grit paste. Thanks for watching. Be sure to give our video a thumbs up and subscribe to Scrap Time videos on YouTube. In the meantime, here are a couple other videos you might be interested in watching. See you next time. Bye-bye.